Hello, welcome. We'll be your host for this evening. My name is Haroula Kyriacou.
I'm Lizbeth Carrazco.
And we're members of Delta Institute's Emerging Leaders Associate Board, or DELS for short. We're so excited to welcome you all to this special anniversary event celebrating 25 years of Delta Institute. Boost is organized annually by our Delta Institute's Emerging Leaders Associate Board. We are a group of volunteers, as you can see up on the screen, who represent a diverse set of backgrounds, communities, and careers, but come together to support environmental challenges in the Midwest, especially here in Chicago. We strive to support forward-thinking leaders by building B, opportunities O, for original O and sustainable S, thinking T, who are boosting their communities with entrepreneurial ideas. For those of you who haven't attended before, Boost is a live pitch competition where the audience determines the winners of the competition. Our participants are environmentally and sustainably minded entrepreneurs in the Midwest who have competed and won at Boost in the past. Tonight, we plan to award a record $25,000 in total funding to 4 exceptional Boost winners in commemoration of Delta's 25th anniversary. Aside from being a fundraiser, tonight also serves as a way to help connect you, our audience, with local environmental entrepreneurs, our finalists, and together expand all of our networks and community of like-minded people. We hope you take the time to meet not only our finalists, but also those who serve as DELS, Delta board members, and other environmental and community enthusiasts who are here with us tonight. And don't forget, you, our audience, control who goes home with the grand prize tonight, the largest amount we have ever given to a single Boost applicant yet, $10,000.
Like Haroula said, this year we did things a little differently, and we invited all of our past Boost winners to apply as part of the 25th anniversary event. The Boost program has supported some truly amazing startups over the years, and tonight we want to highlight 4 anniversary all-stars for our Ultra Super Boost celebration this year. We wanted to embrace this moment in time to recognize some of our region's most exceptional entrepreneurs that have been involved with the Boost program over the years. And I know what you're thinking, Lizbeth, how were the finalists this year even chosen? Well, let me tell you. The DELS carefully selected tonight's 4 finalists based on the following criteria. First, the potential contribution to solving complex environmental challenges each startup presented, each entrepreneur's personal background and experiences, and the impact it has on their ability to address environmental sustainability, each startup's commitment to advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion, especially in BIPOC communities, the LGBTQA+ community, and women entrepreneurship, and fourth, the financial sustainability of their startups, such as current planning, revenue model, and intended use of funds. But before we get into it, it's important to recognize that tonight would not be possible without the generous support of our sponsors. We want to thank each of you and call out how much we appreciate you all for being returning sponsors supporting Boost. Our presenting sponsors for this year are United Airlines and the American Family Institute for Corporate and Social Impact. Thank you both for returning as presenting sponsors. Let's also give it up for our diamond sponsor, William Blair, our platinum sponsor, the People Gas Community Fund, our gold sponsor, RW Ventures, and our green sponsor, Elevate.
We also wanted to give a special shout out to 3 of our sponsors who have committed to year-round support to Delta Institute for our 25th anniversary. In addition to supporting tonight's event, these anniversary sponsors will be supporting all of Delta's events for the 2023 to 2024 fiscal year, including our Green Soapbox event in the spring and our 25th anniversary celebration reception in May. Please put your hands together for our community partner, United Airlines, our climate champion sponsor, William Blair, and our quarter-century circle sponsor, RW Ventures. We'd like to now present a quick video from our presenting sponsor and community partner, United Airlines. As a GHGMI practitioner, it's great to see the dedication United has to our planet.
I'm coming to you today from the Colorado Rockies, which is a great backdrop for talking to you about United's new commitment to be 100% green by the year 2050. And when we talk about being carbon free, we mean something different than what you've heard a lot of other companies say. This problem has been building for the last 2 centuries. True sustainability is about taking on the biggest culprit in our industry, the emissions generated by our aircraft. And so the only way to really solve the climate change problem is through sustainable fuels and carbon sequestration. We're not going to do it the easy way. It's going to take hard answers, hard solutions to solve this problem. But United Airlines is committed to doing the right thing for the long term. Since the technology to make our goal a reality doesn't all exist yet, we're going to help build it. As part of our 2050 commitment, we're going to invest in a carbon sequestration project. These are projects that literally take carbon out of the atmosphere and pump it into the ground where it can stay for millions of years. I have 6 kids with 1 on the way, and I want to leave this kind of backdrop for those 7 kids and their kids and all the generations to come. We are the ones that have to stop punting the problem down the road. We can't continue to gradually evolve. And this is our chance to start a revolution and make a difference that will last for generations to come. While other airlines may continue to offset the problem, we're going to work hard to solve the problem before you even take your seat. After all, your journey begins before you board our planes, and so should ours.
Wow, that was inspiring. Truly to see the movement that we've come with carbon sequestration and everything. But I could have sworn I saw a Bigfoot in that video, so I'm gonna have to rewatch it later. Thanks again, United. We will hear from our second presenting sponsor later this evening. Now, Haroula and I would not even be here if it weren't for the Delta Institute and their vision to create an associate board for emerging leaders. Here to say a few words about Delta Institute's work and reflect on the last 24 years of impact is our CEO, Bill Schleizer.
Thank you so much. It is really exciting to be here. I missed Boost last year because I had to present in Baltimore, and I can tell you this is so much more fun. And I have literally the easiest job tonight. I don't have to worry about pitching and like earning votes and like really hoofing it. I get to celebrate the work of all of these great entrepreneurs, our emerging leader staff, and all the work that has done over the last 24 years, and it is phenomenal. And I'm so excited here tonight. This is Boost 12th year, and this is the night where we're launching Delta's festivities for the 25-year anniversary, which will go for the next several months. So I can't wait to see you at our other events coming up throughout the years and really reflecting on all the great work. And earlier this month, I got to celebrate my 19th year at Delta, which is absolutely insane. It's insane. And boy, have there been a lot of highs, a lot of lows, and everything in between. But right now, where we are as an organization, with the work of our staff, the board, and the emerging leaders, is at a phenomenal place where we can have impact across the Midwest. And throughout the last 24 years, we've always been grounded in place and really thinking about how can we make a change, bring people together, and do things innovatively. And having the emerging leaders come on board and do that with us 12 years ago, and then coming up with this idea now in its 12th year that we get to have an all-stars version of is absolutely insane and amazing. So I want to thank all the emerging leaders that are here tonight. I also want to do a shout out before I talk about Delta a little bit more to Patrick Murphy, who made everything work. Seriously, go thank him. He made all of this happen with all of the hard work of the Dells, and he has been just a jewel of a person on Delta staff and makes my life so much easier and wonderful to come into the office too. But when you get to 25 years, you get to reflect back, but also we get to talk about what we're going to do in the future and what impact we're going to have moving forward, because we have a lot of experience under our belt, we've got a lot of partnerships, and we have a lot of great things happening. But our 3 big areas that we're working on over the next several years are nature-based climate solutions, resilient agriculture, and sustainability and support services. In nature-based climate solutions, we are looking for those long-term solutions to deal with stormwater, flooding, and climate change in the communities that are hit hardest. That includes communities on the Southside, where we're working in partnership with Blacks and Green and Emerald South. It also looks like us helping create a tree planting consortium in Northwest Indiana, and new types of financing mechanisms and all the things that you need in community to put these things in the ground and integrate it into everyday life. So we are really excited to be on the way to investing over $100 million in these communities to solve the climate crisis over the next several years. In a resilient, thank you. But wait, there's more. It's so exciting. That's just one of the things that our staff is up to with our partners on the ground. We also have resilient agriculture. We are trying to solve generations of environmental degradation of our soils in the Midwest by really changing how we think about agriculture and what it can do as an economic driver in the Midwest by focusing on soil health, creating those drivers to have agriculture change how we produce what we do, what we produce, and why we're producing it, to align with the goals that we all want to have with a resilient Midwest for generations ahead. We are really solving those issues, and our job at Delta is to work with 1,000 farmers and start transitioning 1 million acres. It's a big number, but I think we can get there, and it's very, very exciting. Well, I stopped at that one. And lastly, I call those our lean in. That's where we know we can make the change and we can get to that. But we also know that communities and our partners have very specific needs that Delta can help with. And that's where our sustainability and support services come in, where we help communities with our expertise with brownfields, with waste. You may have seen Chicago saying they're going to start a compost pilot. That was Delta's recommendation. In a city that never thought it could even get recycling right. But through the work that we have done with the departments and the mayor's office, we can now get things on the ground that really impact waste and redevelopment, and think about how municipalities and our partners think about sustainability, climate change, and planning for it to have more effective operations. And it is all based in what community the priorities there are in sustainability, and that's what we hope to work with. I think 250 communities over the next several years and really meet their goals. So that is our last big initiative area for Delta Institute. But that's not why we're here tonight. We are here to celebrate some amazing entrepreneurs. And that's the great thing about Delta. We get to bring people together and create new types of community and support and grow the infrastructure that makes us resilient and innovative. And as we're trying to solve complex environmental issues across the Midwest, is rebuilding that infrastructure of bringing people together and coming up with these new innovative solutions and then creating the support around them to then watch them grow. And that's why it's so exciting to have the All-Stars version, because now we get to catch up with these finalists. And the stories that we heard from a lot of other Boost finalists have been amazing. And it's this little seed that Delta and the emerging leaders have been able to provide that we get to see the impact of what now has sprouted. And now, how can we make it grow even further? And that's what's very exciting about tonight. So I want to thank you all for being here. And a special thank you to the Delta emerging leaders who have put this all together. This is their idea. This is all their sweat equity. This is all the amazingness. So give a round of applause for them. And the easiest job of the night is now done, so I get to hand it back to the people who actually do the real work.
Thank you, Bill, for all you do. As Bill said, Delta Institute first held a Boost event in 2012, and over the past 11 years, Boost has awarded nearly $100,000 to support 20 winning entrepreneurs. We are so excited to bring back 4 of these entrepreneurs tonight and hear them talk all about the progress they've made since their first Boost Award and what they plan to accomplish in the future. But before we hear from our finalists, we want to take a moment and thank our generous hosts this evening, the Ed Kaplan Family Institute for Innovation and Tech Entrepreneurship here at Illinois Tech. We'd like to introduce Kaplan's Institute's program director, who also serves as this year's chair on the Delta Institute's Developmental Committee. Please help me in welcoming Niharika Hanglem to the stage.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Niharika Hanglem. I've been really proud to serve on the board of Delta Institute for the last 3.5 years, where I also serve as the chair of the development committee. So in my day job as the program director of the Kaplan Institute, which is the venue for today's Boost event, I work on designing and implementing programs that basically support advancing careers and opportunities for the tech leaders of the future. So we are essentially trying to build that entrepreneurial mindset among our students and positioning them as entrepreneurs and tech leaders of the future. There are 3 things that we really commit to in inculcating that sense of entrepreneurial mindset. One of them is we really want them to be more community-minded, more entrepreneurial, and more diverse. Today's event, Boost, is such a testament to all of those qualities. We are celebrating some amazing entrepreneurs here today. I am thrilled that all of you are here. I am really excited to see this all-star cast of entrepreneurs. This is just such an amazing celebration of 25 years of Delta Institute. I would like for all of you to join me in giving a big round of applause to all of the entrepreneurs here today, and also giving a big thank you to all the Dells that have organized this event. With that said, thank you to the Dells and the sponsors for the event. Please enjoy the rest of the evening.
Awesome. Thank you, Niharika. This space really is beautiful, and thank you for letting us use it again. But now, what we've been waiting for, this year's finalists. Okay. So we will introduce each finalist, and then they will have up to 8 minutes to pitch their idea. After all the pitches are complete, you'll have an opportunity to visit their tables on the stage, ask any questions, get to know them, get a little bit in-depth about their business. All guests, both virtual and in person, will receive a ballot via email after the last presentation. Tonight, we are awarding one grand prize winner a $10,000 grant, but all of our runner-ups will be walking away with a little support of $5,000. We strongly encourage you to vote as soon as you're ready to allow yourself time just in case of technical difficulties, but voting will be open for 30 minutes. Voting will automatically close at 8:40 p.m. Central. If you're having any issues accessing your ballot and you're in person, visit the registration table. If you're online, send a chat in the Zoom and someone will be able to help you out. Again, voting will close at 8:40 p.m. Central Standard Time with no expectations, so please take your time to review and decide and rank, but don't take too long because it closes at 8:40.
All right, so to start it off tonight, we have Chicago Eco House, a parent company of Southside Blooms. Chicago Eco House is our 2017 Boost winner and is a systemic solution transforming vacant lots into sustainable urban flower farms, turning blight into economic opportunities for majority Black inner city communities. They train local youth as flower artisans and farmers through their K-8 and workforce development programs. I don't know about you, Lizbeth, but a bouquet of sunflowers can always bring a sunshine smile to my face. Unfortunately, Keelan Blackwell, the president and CEO of Chicago Eco House and Southside Blooms, is not feeling well and is unable to join tonight. However, please help me welcome his wife, Hannah Blackwell, co-founder and creative lead at Southside Blooms, to the stage.
Thank you. All right, I want everyone to do something for me really quick. Close your eyes. What comes to mind when you hear these words? Woodlawn, Englewood, West Garfield Park, Cook County Jail. Open your eyes. Well, what comes to my mind is this. I'm Hannah Bonham Blackwell, and I am the proud co-founder and lead creative for Chicago Eco House. My story with the inner city started when I was 15 years old. I grew up in a small town in Kansas, and I came up to Woodlawn with a youth group, and I was shocked at what I saw. Teens my age were experiencing really hard stuff living in and around the Robert Taylor homes. That experience never left me, and in 2005, I actually moved to Chicago, and I started researching what the deal was. Why is this segregation? Why is the resources, why aren't they, so unevenly split in the city? So in 2011, I felt like I would be a hypocrite if I did not do something personally about what I felt was such a big issue. So I moved to the west side, and I started to get to know my neighbors. I started to make friends with the community, and I started to try to understand from a personal level what was going on. So the solution wasn't immediate. It was a big issue, and it felt like it was going to be more than just me. So fast forward to 2014, I was asked to go on a blind date with a young man. And, Chicago Eco House, we moved pretty fast. A year later, that young man was my husband. And Chicago Eco House became our official project. It was somebody that had the same heart and desire to see the inner city revitalized like me. So in 2014, we had nothing. We had no connections. We had no money. We didn't even have enough money to file our 501c3 status. So we took pies in the face, like this one here, to raise enough money to file. And we got enough pies in the face, and we were able to finally become an official 501c3. So Chicago Eco House has the mission of using sustainability to alleviate poverty. And we do this by converting vacant lots into 100% off-grid, solar-powered flower farms using rainwater irrigation and regenerative agriculture to do exactly what we heard earlier, to heal the soil and to pull out some of those terrible toxins that we know are in so many of the vacant lots surrounding the south and west sides. We work in the most divested neighborhoods in Chicago to bring about a more healthy land and a more healthy community using sustainability. We not only do that, but we create jobs in these flower farms, and we create them at a community level. So not only are young people in our communities able to have a job and even a career in this work, they're able to understand sustainability from a community level. So now it's not anymore this far-off thing for wealthy people, like owning a Tesla and you'll be sustainable, but it's really introducing sustainability on a neighborhood level, and it's showing that it's something that can benefit the everyday person. So in 2017, we were able to win the Boost Award, which did give us a boost. And we, because of that, we were able to establish our second and third farms. Our second farm we did in Woodlawn, only a mile from that very first place that I had gone when I was 15. And West Garfield Park, of course, was very dear to me because of the west side. We were able to take over a space that had been full of gang activity and drugs across from an elementary school, turn it into a flower farm using not only sustainability, but introducing the young students of that school to doing urban agriculture in a totally different way. So 2020 hit, and we all know what 2020 is. Everybody has the same thing. COVID did cancel all of our events, but what COVID could not cancel was Mother Nature. And we had 30,000 tulips that were gonna come up no matter what. So we threw our 3 kids in the car. Keelan and I delivered flowers for 8 hours, and we sold out every single time we put something up on Instagram. And thus, our flower delivery service was born. And this is still a huge part of Southside Blooms. It is one of the backbones of our work, and we still send out hundreds of bouquets all throughout Chicagoland area, pulling resources into the inner city through that delivery service. So in 2021, as you know, the world opened up a bit again. We had events again, and this time we were ready. We had an army of trained young people, not only in flower farming and understanding sustainability from that level, but in arranging flowers and doing high-end floristry. And you might be thinking like, oh, that's cute, maybe some cute little events in the neighborhood. No, I'm talking high-end weddings, field museum. We've been to the Willis Tower or Sears Tower, whatever you're loyal to. We even competed at Floridaville against the top florists in the city. We won second for fan favorite for our design, all by our young people trained right there in Inglewood, showing that they deserve to be up there with the best. So we started from nothing, as you've heard. Next year will be our 10-year anniversary, and we are projected to surpass $2 million. This means that we found an anchor industry. Thank you. We found that anchor industry that we so desired to change the inner city as we know it. We found the key to unlocking that future, the future of the inner city, the future of the hood, so that the hood as we know it now is not anymore. The hood that is of the future, that is flowers, is here. And the $35 billion a year floral industry, that money is starting to be diverted into the inner city. So this isn't just a story about me. This isn't just a story about the young people we work with. This involves everybody, because it's not just about what we're doing. It involves the whole city. Everybody can be involved in the future of transforming the inner city. And it's done by booking your next event with Southside Blooms, buying flowers from Southside Blooms, and really being a change and a part of the future of the inner city, the future that is here, the future that's bright, and the future that's flowers. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And thank you, Hannah, for not only stepping in tonight, but also being a force of nature yourself in the urban agriculture world. Our next finalist is our 2014 Boost winner, Gardeneers. Gardeneers work with Chicago's South and West Side schools to contribute positively to the food systems by supporting students in their garden programs to build their knowledge, skills, and habits to become leaders who care for themselves, their environment, and their communities. Please help me welcome Selma Sims, CEO of Gardeneers, to the stage.
All righty, good evening, everyone. All righty, excuse me, I'm sweating a little bit. It's kind of hot. I hope I'm not the only person. Thank you for bearing with me. Yeah, so my name is Selma Sims. I am the CEO and head grower of Gardeneers. That's us. We are the only full-service customized school gardening nonprofit in the city of Chicago. And what I like to tell folks is think of FFA, Future Farmers of America, and 4-H, but for city kids, right? And we have been doing this work since 2014, and our work is predominantly done on the south and west sides of the city of Chicago. So Gardeneers, full-service customized school gardening nonprofit. We work on the south and west sides of the city of Chicago. This is my team. We look good, right? So my team is composed of course, leadership, our garden educators, and our AmeriCorps service members. Our garden educators and our AmeriCorps service members are our front-facing team personnel. So, Gardeneers, what we do. Basically, again, we were established in 2014, and our mission is to create customized school garden programs to ensure that each space and the students and communities who care for it connect with healthy food and grow to their full potential. I'll talk about how we know that our program impacts our community in a multitude of ways. Multiple communities, both school and actual neighborhood, and in those ways. These are pictures of our work. We have our students in our gardens. We have in the upper right-hand corner our AmeriCorps manager, Sarah. And in our bottom left-hand corner, we got an AmeriCorps service member, Cassandra, working with our youth. And in this corner, bottom right hand, we have one of our community members, Angie, with some cabbage, right? All righty, our programming. We have, again, in-school gardening programming. We have in-school We work with 21 school and community partners, and when I say school and community, we work with around 19 schools and 2 community-based organizations, the Boys and Girls Club and the YWCA. We do weekly programming with 1,700 students, grades kindergarten through 12th grade. We have in-school programming, after-school programming, we have summer programming, and we also have corporate and community volunteer days. That's how we activate a multitude of ages and communities in our work. Here are a list of our school partners. 21, those that have an ASM in parentheses, those are our high school programs. We work with After School Matters, another Chicago-based nonprofit that encourages entrepreneurship in our teenagers. We as Gardeneers facilitate green opportunities for our future local food advocates. And that kid's just really cute making that sign. All righty, our programming. We do have service fees. Our service fees are how we are able to equitably compensate those people doing the work. My team, I showed you who they were, right? Because equitable compensation for agriculture and education is very important to me as an agronomist, especially doing this work. Oh, thank you, appreciate that, right? So these are our 3 packages that we offer all of our school and community-based partners, pea, pepper, and pumpkin. Hopefully you get the alliteration. No matter how much a school brings to us, no matter how much, even if it's $1, we will make it enough in order to fund this work, because money should not be a barrier to access to resources. We believe that, okay? Next, and we're gonna get it. All righty, so how our programming works. Each school is assigned a garden educator, staff member, and AmeriCorps service member, and they will facilitate programming at that school for an entire year or as long as they stay with us. And so, our garden educators, the curriculum that they facilitate is undergirded by our 3 pillars, nature, nutrition, and community. Everything we do has to have those 3 components in it. Because without those 3 components, there is no sustainability. And that's what matters. It's sustainability of our programming. And that's important because Delta Boost has helped us pay people equitably. That's what the money we have received from this program has done. And it will continue to do that because we need folks who are versed in agriculture and education to do this work in our community. This is a very hard job to do. So let's talk numbers. I love talking stories, but I love talking numbers. Because just to say my work is cool is one thing, but I got proof. I really do. We know at Gardeneers, 83% of our students tried a new fruit or vegetable after just 1 season of programming with us. That's 10 weeks. So think about this past summer, from mid-March to about Memorial Day, Memorial Day, all those students, the 1,700, they ate at least 1 extra fruit or vegetable per serving, right? 83% said they liked it. 74% said they like them. So 1 every 3. We believe in honesty and consent in this org. So we get it. I personally don't like beets or ginger or bananas. I got a list. Now, 80% said they gained knowledge about how to improve their health as a result of this program. That matters because youth and children that learn healthy habits go on to be adults that have healthy habits. And when they become adults that have healthy habits, they impact their community more positively. All right, ag education. I know it's like Gardeneers, garden. Yes, but that is considered agriculture education, right? So I'm an alum of Iowa State, go Cyclones, right? So ag is really big to me. But agriculture education for our youth has benefited our teens specifically. They are so adorable. 77% say that this program has helped them change their habits for the better. And we take these metrics before and after programming. We actually want our youth to tell us, not the adults all the time, because we ask adults too. They matter sometimes. So 97% of our teens have demonstrated growth in at least 1 social emotional metric. We all took a hit for about a good 2.5 years, where we all tried to survive and possibly thrive a global traumatic event. Our youth socially has been the largest population impacted. And I say that as someone that has worked in youth development since 2004. And if you have kids, you probably see it. Social emotional metrics are very important, and so we help our youth with that. And then 100% of our school administrators say the Gardeneers adds to the school community in a positive way. 100%. Thank God. Now, how does that help us? One, we don't like to talk about agricultural education in terms of being a deterrent to violence and or food insecurity, but we do know that our contribution to the work that we're doing does have an impact. One, let's talk about violence. Most of the violence that happens in our communities can all be related to systematic and systemic things that have happened historically. We're gonna touch on those in a moment. By us being an organization that pours resources into schools that have been underserved for a long time, again, we're helping to facilitate the building of future green leaders, future agricultural advocates. The silver tsunami is real in ag, and that's why it's important for us to get ahead of it. Also, in terms of food insecurity, the food we grow in our gardens, our youth get first, their community gets second, and it doesn't leave the neighborhood. It doesn't travel a mile outside. Why? Because we want to keep the food local. Plus, I got kids growing it. All types of child labor laws we get into. But they love it. They love it, and I appreciate that, okay? So those are the reasons why a couple of the reasons why we do this work, and those are our youth enjoying it. Got chickens, got turnips, you can clearly see the faces, and then those girls are actually eating raw sweet corn I have freshly husked. Like it wasn't cooked or anything. They like it, they really like it. All right, while we do our work. It was just touched upon historically, neighborhoods have been divested in. This is a cutout, and if you have a Chicago Public Library card, all of this is available online, right? I personally owe them $70, but this is free. So, these are the Sanborn fire insurance maps, these are FHA realty maps that were created during the New Deal era when Franklin Delano Roosevelt was our president, the only 3-term serving president. This was the map used by realtors to tell the banks what to underwrite. We now know in 2023 how closely related generational wealth and resources in a neighborhood, how they're related to how homes were or were not sold back in the day. Now, I'm gonna give you a QR code because hopefully everyone's sitting down. If you're actually reading the words on the right, yeah, you should be sitting. The first line itself is just, 90% of our neighborhoods that we do programming in, this is how they were described less than 100 years ago. That's where the wealth went. Yeah. Okay. This is what our neighborhoods used to look like. We had the West Side before it was enveloped. Where we do our work, North Lawndale used to be Cicero. Now it's Chicago. That's what it looked like at first. The middle is what it looked like in the 50s. And over here on the right is what it looks like now. You can see the prevalence of vacant lots. If you feel like scanning it and you want to read those maps, maybe look at what the description of this particular neighborhood was before Mies van der Rohe got his hands on it. Please feel free. I won't talk about Mies because I know it's conflicted. All righty, how can you help us? This is my call to action. Please support us in the way that you feel comfortable. Board membership, we are accepting applications for new board members. My board is diverse. We take time, treasure, or talent. That way we're able to have people from our communities help us guide where we go strategically. Please reach out to me, Selma at Gardeneers, if you have questions. Pollinator Network for our young professionals. I don't poach other young professionals. I believe in sharing. You can never have too many networks. Ever, right? And so, of course, tell your networks about us and our sponsorships, right? Please follow us on all the socials. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram. We have an Etsy shop, got cute merch. It's sweater weather. Get you a hoodie, right? And then, of course, if you could, look at our calendar. It is on our website, www.gardeneers.org. Get involved. And we have our volunteer calendar there. Please come out and show our communities, not just financially, but physically, how you would like to support them, okay? Now, as I mentioned before, this money, if awarded and we win, no one's a loser though. That's the great thing about this. I appreciate that. If awarded the grand prize, this money will continue to help us support our team financially by providing equitable wages for the city of Chicago and agricultural work, okay? I would like to thank you so much for giving me your time and listening. And please, again, just look us up, gardeneers.org. Oh, Selma.
Thank you, Selma. I still remember the garden my fifth grade class planted outside our classrooms, so I love that Gardeneers is making this core member for the rest of Chicago youth. Our next finalist is a more recent winner. Lillian Augusta Hair was the 2019 Boost winner. Lillian Augusta's plant-based braiding hair is a sustainable alternative to synthetic braiding hair. Their hair is plastic-free, irritation-free, and carcinogen-free. You can experience hair without harm with Lillian Augusta. Now we'll hear from Jannice Newson, CEO and co-founder of Lillian Augusta Hair.
Thank you, and hello, good evening, everyone. How great is it to get invited to an event just to ask for money, right? It's wonderful. So I am Jannice, and I am co-founder and CEO of Lillian Augusta, where we are creating plant-based braiding hair. Now, I love wearing braids. I think it's a beautiful hairstyle. I think what braiders are able to do is a form of art. But braiding hair kind of sucks. When I wear braiding hair, I deal with an uncomfortable experience. I'm itchy. My skin is breaking out. I get an allergic reaction to the hair. I usually end up taking out the hair a lot sooner than I would like to. This isn't happening to just me, and it's not happening by coincidence either. It's due to the fact that synthetic braiding hair is made from cheap, low-grade, carcinogenic plastics. This has been going on since the inception of braiding hair itself, and it's a huge problem. The material poses a concern for our health and our environment. Now, thinking about braiding hair, I got really frustrated. Why is this product so bad? You wouldn't buy shampoo that does all this stuff. Why are we putting up with this? This doesn't make any sense. Which is why I started Lillian Augusta, to create hair without harm, a plant-based braiding hair that is plastic-free, that is carcinogen-free, and that is safer for you to wear and safer for the environment. We're really committed to offering better options for hair care. You can see some of this hair that I have on here, and our little model Susie over there has some on as well. And here's what some of our mock-up packaging looks like. Now, there's a clear need for innovation in the braiding hair market, but there's a willingness to pay as well. Black consumers, we spend 9 times more than any other racial demographic on hair and beauty products. And even Mintel recognizes that they grossly underestimate the value of the Black hair care market, and if they accounted for everything, it's likely a lot closer to $500 billion. What we're looking into right here is the $37 million serviceable attainable market here in the Chicago metropolitan area. This is our business model. This hair will be sold online, direct to consumer via our website. No need to go to the beauty supply store. We'll ship it right to your door. And who else is working on this, you may ask? Well, there are some other innovators in the space, but we are differentiating ourselves by, 1, focusing in on a plant-based option, addressing the irritation, and we have a patent-pending texture match strand that matches the texture of your human hair so that your braids are effortlessly flawless. Sustainability is at the forefront for Lillian Augusta from our inception with the idea for plant-based braiding hair. Because 98 million pounds of plastic pollution emanate from braiding hair in the United States each year. This product is used worldwide. If you accounted for other countries, other continents, this number likely grows exponentially. And this is unnecessary waste. We don't have to have this waste from people wearing braids. So that's why we are offering this option of plant-based braiding hair that is compostable at managed compost waste sites.
Now, I tell you not to read off the slide, but I think this is a slide worth reading off of. 50% of hair and beauty products marketed towards Black women have endocrine disruptors, compared to 7% of those marketed towards white women. There is a need for equity in hair care. There's a need for equity in braiding hair specifically, which is why we want to have co-creation in the product development. We likely wouldn't have had low-grade plastics in our braiding hair if Black women were included in the areas of product development where we can make the most difference: design, manufacturing. So we're offering this innovative product to solve the existing solutions, and we also have a commitment to DEI in our operations. Now, a lot has happened since I was last here. For one, I got better slides. This is a slide I had back in 2019, and I said the plant just turns into the hair somehow. But we've made a lot of progress. So for one, we've put in a provisional patent application for our current formulation for the hair. We've done a lot of research. We've talked to people, we've done interviews, we've done surveys. What do you need from braiding hair? What problems do you have with it now? What do you want to see? We also have our minimum viable product. This is the hair that we're wearing right now. I've got 8 people that are currently testing it out, giving some feedback on what they'd like to see in that final version. And we've been in the papers. Blavity featured us, Essence, Cranes Detroit, and a number of others. And these are all some of the institutions that have supported this business thus far. Why am I the one to be working on this? Well, for one, I wear the braids. I've dealt with the problem, and I don't want to just solve it for myself, but I want to solve it for my sister. You know, I want to solve it for my mom, my aunt, my friends, all the other Black women I know out there that deal with this and just put up with it every day. You don't have to. We can have more agency in the marketplace for what we put up against our skin and within our hair. And I've got a great team of people who are helping out on a number of different fronts with moving this forward. This money is specifically for us to launch. We have been working on this tirelessly to create the product, and now that we have it, we're ready to get out there in the world and share this hair without harm with everyone else. So this will go towards consulting on our product. It's going to go towards our packaging design. It's going to go towards the creation of the filaments of hair itself, and also printed materials. I've got some over there, but it could be a lot better, right? So this is going to go towards that as well. Now's the time. Why not have better options in hair care that are sustainable, that take into consideration what people want and need, and do it with us? So experience hair without harm with Lillian Augusta. Scan our QR code and follow us on social media. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Jannice. And your hair looks amazing tonight, by the way. So if y'all need a live model, it looks great. So our last finalist of the evening is going to be Zumwalt Acres. Our 2020 Boost winners are a youth-led Jewish farm and research center that works to transform Midwestern agriculture by sequestering carbon, revitalizing soil, and producing nutritious food while supporting young adults as they advocate for equity and resilience in food and agriculture. Please help me welcome Sophie Lieberman, farm manager and program director, to the stage.
Hi everyone, I'm so excited to be here to be talking about Zumwalt Acres and share with you all how we've grown as a farm and organization since winning Boost 3 years ago. You would have seen this slide where in 2021 our trees were little babies. This is a picture from a few days ago where they've grown quite a bit and we've harvested some of our first fruits this year. My name is Sophie Lieberman. In the fall of 2020, instead of going back to school for my senior year of college, I decided to move to a town called Sheldon, Illinois, which is about 90 miles south of here, to start a project that really married many of my interests and passions as a young adult, a Jewish person, a female farmer in a male-dominated industry, a researcher in ecology and anthropology. And I've since been a farmer for 5 years and continue to co-direct Zumwalt Acres. I'm also joined by a group of other co-founders and former alumni to form a leadership team It's a group of really bright and passionate and qualified individuals who donate their time to directing this organization. And we also all have we have a horizontal decision-making structure so that everyone has an equal say in where our organization is heading. Within the mostly homogenous rural area where we work, we're a predominantly queer community, a predominantly female and non-binary, which is also true of our leadership team. We allow apprentices, participants to come to a part of Illinois and be exposed to ideas and experiences that they might not normally have had available to them, as well as allowing this area to be exposed to younger voices and other perspectives. We're also about 75% Jewish. We're a Jewishly guided organization, and we found that by including this part of our culture and identity in our work, we're able to encourage people to show up to the farm and to the organization with their whole selves, with their whole identities, and show up in solidarity with other faith-based and identity-based work and initiatives. The average farmer in the United States is 58 years old, white, and male. You can see by the statistics on this screen, by me standing here in front of you, that I look a lot different, and we look a lot different from the other farmers in our region. So together, we work to empower the next generation of farmers, scientists, and activists to build a better food system and mitigate climate change. We do this work by running an apprenticeship program for young adults, by conducting novel carbon sequestration research on our 50-acre farm, and by connecting with regional farmers to encourage them to adopt these practices as well. Zumwalt Acres is located on the unceded homeland of the Potawatomi, Peoria, Miami, Oseti Sachuan, Kaskaskia, and Kickapoo nations. We know that 6 generations ago, when the Zumwalts arrived on this land, the land was stolen from these indigenous nations, and we keep this information front of mind as we look to how we can address these harms that were done moving forward. Currently, we're located in what's known as Iroquois County. This county is one of the highest corn and soy producing counties in the entire country. 85% of the farmland is in corn and soy production, which means that our 50-acre farm can have a disproportionately large positive impact on restoring soils and wildlife in the area. Our work comprises of 4 main areas. First and core to our work is the on-farm apprenticeship, where we welcome about 7 to 10 young adults aged 18 to 27 to learn about regenerative agriculture, all aspects of the work. But more than that, they take part in running the organization, gaining leadership skills, taking field trips to other farms, participating in marketing and research. And they, just like our leadership team, have access to our decision-making and play a really large role in this work. We are also hosting some of the largest and longest term field trials for a novel carbon sequestration strategy that by enhancing a natural process called rock weathering, farmers can permanently sequester carbon on their farmland for much longer timescales, millions of years, as compared to more common organic practices. This is in combination to the over 1,000 trees that we've planted in our biodiverse perennial agroforestry system. And we found from our research in collaboration with Yale University that we're capturing up to 4 tons of carbon dioxide per hectare per year on our land, which is approximately about the same as the average carbon footprint globally per person per year. We also distribute food and grow food. A lot of that food goes to the 7 to 10 person community that's living on our farm, and much of it is also distributed to the food pantry in Sheldon, the farmers market in our nearby town Watseka, and through a regenerative agriculture network that distributes food to restaurants in Chicago. You can have our produce if you go to some of the restaurants around here, as well as Peoria and other cities. We have a accessible pricing model where we make sure that the people in our zip code, where although almost all of the land around us is farmland, there's one Walmart which acts as the main grocery store for dozens of miles. And so we price competitively with the Walmart so this produce is accessible for people around us. And finally, we work to host events and build community both within our local region as well as in the Chicago, Indianapolis, and Urbana-Champaign area. We host events like Farmer Soil Health Field Days, Jewish celebrations. Here we're celebrating Sukkot in 2023, just a few weeks ago. A week ago, we had a mushroom and contra dancing event where we learned how to inoculate oyster mushrooms and had a contra dance afterwards. And so we are bringing people together who would not necessarily otherwise connect to build a space to share knowledge, mobilize into action, and reimagine a more joyful and sustainable food system. Since winning the Delta Boost Grant in 2020, we've grown quickly and quickly as an organization. We've seen a 50% increase in our revenue and 35% increase in our operating budget just in the past year. And we plan to operate as a nonprofit farm where about 1/3 of our revenue is coming from the farm, which will be complemented by grants and donations. Since winning the Boost, we've been really lucky to find a lot of support from collaborators such as Yale University and the University of Illinois. They've shown, their support has demonstrated that they're confident in our ability to carry out these big research projects and partnerships where we've implemented the rock weathering on our land, shown how we can grow mushrooms in a closed loop system, planted a lot of fruit trees, and so much more. So Zumwalt Acres is a space in a town called Sheldon, Illinois, which no one so far has heard of, but if you have heard of it, let me know afterwards, where we are able to build relationships with farmers, conventional farmers and organic farmers who are often left out of the sustainable agriculture conversation. We build these relationships based on trust and reciprocity by hosting community events and distributing food and listening to what they have to say about what their worries are for the future of agriculture in the United States. We're youth-led and we're guided by Jewish values. We're able to mobilize these communities and really invigorate them. We integrate science as a really important part of what we do, but it's only one part of what we do in our holistic land management strategy, and we learn from a lot of different people about different ways to manage land. And finally, we see daily impacts as well as long-term impacts. We see the food that is distributed every week at our food pantry and at the farmers market. We see the young adults that come through and then go on to study agriculture or anthropology of agriculture or work in municipalities leading climate solution approaches, as well as long-term impacts where we're planting trees that are going to fruit a few years from now and capturing carbon that is going to be really important decades from now, and talking to farmers who are figuring out what they want to do with their land as they retire. So the Boost Grant is a really important part, will really support the work that we do. It'll go directly to funding our apprenticeship program, providing apprentices with food, housing, and an additional stipend. And this apprenticeship program, not only is it the core of what we do as an organization, but it allows young adults to come through to Sheldon, to Iroquois County, and reimagine what a better food system can look like and reimagine our own future. So thank you so much for listening and for your time this evening. If you'd like to support us in other ways, you can donate via our website, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Zumwalt Acres, and subscribe to our newsletter, and hopefully you can come to the next Mushroom and Contra Dancing event. Thank you.
Great, thank you so much, Sophie. And with that, let's get a big round of applause for all of our finalists. I don't know about you all, but I'm so amazed to see what each of our entrepreneurs have accomplished this far and to see and learn about all the things they're going to achieve in the future. And now to get to the good part, voting. So for the next 30 minutes, the polls will be open for all guests, both those of you in person and those of you virtually. Each of you should have just received an email to the address you registered with for tonight's event. You will determine this year's grand prize winner by casting your vote. This year's winner will be selected via ranked choice voting, where you vote first for your top entrepreneur, followed by your second, third, and then fourth. Whoever wins a majority of votes, either on the first, second, or third place ballot, will be this year's grand prize winner. If you need more details there, come ask one of the Dells and we can explain it. For those of you in person, please feel free to continue eating, drinking, and being merry. We encourage you to come chat with our finalists and learn more about their endeavors. As a reminder, tonight we will be awarding one grand prize winner of $10,000, while each of our runner-ups will receive $5,000 grants. That's right, no one's going home empty-handed. In honor of Delta's 25th anniversary, we have increased all of our grant amounts. We've doubled the grand prize amount and increased the runner-up amount by 5 times. Isn't that amazing? Okay, so back to voting. We strongly encourage you to vote as soon as you are ready, since technical difficulties could happen to any of us, and we want to make sure your vote is counted. Voting will automatically close tonight at 8:40 p.m. Central. If you have any issues accessing the ballot, please visit the registration table if you're here in person, or reach out to the Zoom host if you're with us virtually. Again, voting will close at 8:40 p.m. Central with no exceptions, so please take your time to review and decide, but don't wait too long. All votes are final, and you will not be able to change your votes after submission. For our online community, please join us back at 8:45 p.m. Central for the winner announcements. Thank you all, and happy voting.
Okay, awesome. Welcome back. Thank you everyone for voting. I hope you're able to use a bathroom, get something to drink, something to snack on, because we are moments away from finding out who our grand winner of this year's Boost Pitch, who will receive a $10,000 grant, is. But do not fret, because tonight we are all winners. All 3 runner-ups will receive a $5,000 grant, and we know support for our entrepreneurs goes beyond the monetary. So Delta's CEO will be meeting with each of our finalists over the course of the coming few weeks to explore other ways in which Delta can help them advance their work. But first, another big round of applause for all of this year's applicants and finalists. And also a special thanks again to Kaplan Institute for hosting us at this beautiful space.
So once again, before we hear from our final sponsor of the evening, let's give one more round of applause to all of this year's sponsors: United Airlines, William Blair, the People's Gas Community Fund, RW Ventures, and Elevate. Now we'd like to pay special recognition to our second presenting sponsor for the evening, the American Family Institute for Corporate and Social Impact, who joins United Airlines in presenting this evening's awards. Please help me welcome Beth Churchill from American Family Insurance Institute for Corporate and Social Impact to the stage.
Thank you, Amalia. Thank you, Lizbeth. Incredible job tonight, you two. My gosh, and all the Dells in the room. So I'm here today to first thank Delta Institute and the Dells for this moment. But first and foremost, I want to ask us all to give another round of applause for the 4 finalists of 2023 for their vision, their commitment, their leadership, and their all-star pitches tonight. So as Amalia said, my name is Beth Churchill. I am the Community and Social Impact Advisor for the American Family Institute for Corporate and Social Impact. I'm here with my colleague Renee Adler, and the rest of my team is online voting from different locations across the country tonight. We really practice supporting partnerships who catalyze ecosystems of financial, social, and environmental impact to close equity gaps in communities. So this event, Delta Institute's Delta Boost event, fits nicely into where we like to show up and get proximate to those who are really leading impact in communities. And like the Delta Institute, we had a milestone anniversary this month. We are 5 years old, so we're catching up. And of those 5 years, 3 of the years we've been partnering with Delta Institute for this Boost event. So we are thrilled to be a presenting sponsor of tonight's Audience Favorite Award, and I know I'm one envelope between you and that, but I do want to take a moment. Excuse me, and thank each of you personally. So I want to thank Hannah and Chicago Eco House and Southside Blooms for your continued impact in bringing urban agriculture to your multi-generational community and to lifting up young leaders and place-based economic empowerment through beautiful blooming gardens. And I want to thank you, Selma, for Gardeneers, for your rich history in closing equity gaps around food systems and food access, all the while for providing programs for young leaders in education and self-resiliency through nutrition, community, connection, and access to nature. And Jannice and your fan club, I want to thank you, Lillian and Augusta, for your vision and continued pursuit of a more sustainable alternative for hair care through your innovative Hair Without Harm business model based on nature-based principles and beauty and health. And last, Sophie, I want to thank you for Zumwalt Acres for your vision, for your work in true regenerative agriculture, science and methods, and leading the reimagination of a more diversified and carbon-negative farming practice in your community and beyond. So with that, it gives me great pleasure to grab the envelope and announce this year's Audience Favorite Awards. There's an envelope this year. Do you want to read it with me? And the winner of the Audience Favorite Award is Gardeneers!
Wow. You like me. You really like me. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much for believing in the work that we're doing. This is going to help us continue to do that work and have so many. It's going to be a multi-level impact model with us, not just with our youth, but with our AmeriCorps service members, with our team members, with our community. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. We really do. Thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations, Selma. Oh, yeah, Selma, if you wanted to stay up here, we're about to. Oh, yeah. So for this special anniversary year, we wanted to also provide each of our anniversary all-star finalists with a special keepsake. So if all of our finalists can please join us on the stage. Each of you are among the most innovative, passionate, and devoted sustainability leaders in our region, and we have been so honored to watch your nonprofits and small businesses grow over the years. As such, in addition to your grant award this year, we'd like to present you each with a handmade custom wooden planter as a reminder that each of us in this room this evening are excited to watch your idea and vision continue to grow and blossom to support our communities and our planet. Let's give them a round of applause, everybody. Bill, if you'd like to join him for a photo. No.
All right, thank you so much. And we are so excited to make sure that all of our winners are going home tonight. And congrats again to the Gardeneers. Okay, so I hope you're all feeling as boosted as I am after hearing all about these entrepreneurs and what they've accomplished to date and all the things they're going to accomplish in the future, whether they're going home with the grand prize or a pretty big runner-up prize. Tonight, you helped us choose the grand prize winner who takes home the largest single grant that Delta has ever awarded at Boost. However, our journey doesn't end here. Our finalists need your help to continue their success. Whether you're able to financially support them with a donation or by purchasing their products, or can help support their endeavors through volunteering, we can all help promote these finalists and these groups by making sure we spread the word. Please take the time tonight to follow them on social media, continue to talk to them at their tables, and find out ways to get involved. And don't forget, the smallest action is bigger than the greatest intention.
Please continue to mingle and network, and for those of you joining us virtually, thank you and have a good night. For those of you in person, please come up and introduce yourself if you haven't already, and thank you for hanging out with Haroula and I tonight. Thank you.